As the sun rises in the east to start and adorn the day, so rises the continuing coverage of your 2024 SinagLakasKwarenta 2.0 as we have a beautiful Tuesday doubleheader para sa inyo mga kasinag as we are live here inside the SM Events Hall in the third level of SM SOUTHMALL in Las Piñas City. As one team representing the South looking to go undefeated as they welcome back the MVP, Coach Gilbert Malabanan, ready to be back dito sa kanyang uniform for the Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints. Makakatapat niya dito on the other side, one of the top scorers dito sa LakasKwarenta 2.0, Alvin V took 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists in a loss dun sa last game ng NRMC basketball. And that is our games for today between Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints and NRMC basketball. And for our main event, it's the Jetour Exile kontra the debuting Tatak Jelbinyan. Isang magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga kasinag na nakatutok from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao at sa iba't ibang bansa na bumubuo ng Asya, and to all those present here inside the SM Events Hall. Kami po ang inyong makasama for these two games on this Tuesday doubleheader. I am Enzo Galarosa and together with me is Coach Alvin Tanyada. Coach Alvin, magandang gabi sa iyo.
Magandang gabi sa iyo, Enzo. And magandang gabi sa inyo mga kasinag. Dalawang umatikabong bakbakan na naman para sa LakasKwarenta 2.0. Kaya hatid namin sa inyo.
Very exciting, no? We get the MVP back and later on, we have a returning team looking to debut dito sa LakasKwarenta 2.0. Kaya nga completing our panel dito, our third member on the sidelines. Walang iba kundi si Daphne Lozano. Daphne, kamusta ka dyan?
Magandang gabi, Enzo and Alvin. At okay naman ako dito. At syempre, magandang gabi rin sa ating mga kasinag na nakasubaybay ngayon for our Tuesday matchup between the Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints and the NRMC basketball. I am Daphne Lozano and I will be your eyes and ears on the sidelines for today's match. Now back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Daphne. We will hear more from Daphne later on as the games go on. But syempre, speaking of the games, pwede niyo pong tutukan itong laban ng Saints and NRMC basketball sa lahat ng social media platforms natin at SINAG Liga Asya on both Facebook and Instagram. Follow us on TikTok and subscribe to our YouTube channel at SINAG Liga TV dahil nga napaka-interesting ng laro natin na Coach Alvin. Etong NRMC basketball, they are 1-2. Etong Santa Rosa naman after a dramatic first game, 1-0 sila. Kaya nga saktong-sakto ang ating game story for this evening's ball game. Simple concept, put an end.
Yes, so ito ang NRMC winning their first game on a good win there to start their tournament. Pero again, 2 losses straight. Gusto nilang matigil na yung kanilang losing streak. Pero mabigat yung magiging kalaban nila ngayon because they have a returning MVP here in the lineup talking about the Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints.
Well, you said nga, itong Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints in their last game, their debut dito sa LakasKwarenta 2.0. The second runner-up for the tournament natin in Season 1. They were saved by none other than that man, Ronald Hawkins. Hawkins saved the day when they beat the JC2 Slashers Sea Lions.
Yes, basically you can see there the numbers on the screen. Dikitan lang yang almost all the numbers, the rebounds in favor of the Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints. But overall, you can see there that it was really Ronald Hawkins who saved the day for their squad. Kung wala yung 3-point shot nila na yon, sigurado magsisimula yung season nila on a losing note. But again, who better to get that big basket than your veteran na leader talaga ng kanilang squad since last season, which is Ronald Hawkins.
Yes, and now they get the MVP back sa kanilang lineup, a complete Santa Rosa Saints squad. Let's see how they do in this ballgame. But tingnan naman natin ang kanilang mga katapat dito. Itong NRMC basketball, they lost to Jetour Exile and they couldn't buy a basket down the stretch.
Yes, and so you can see there the numbers almost, again, Jetour Exile got more rebounds there. The numbers, you can see there, the points in the paint, halos they get bench points. But it was the defense of our Jetour Exile that really went on another run on that quarter. Kung saan sa fourth quarter na yun, they held itong koponan ng NRMC to only 6 points in the halfway mark of that fourth quarter. Kaya nga, dun sila nahirapan. And that is where they held Alvin Vitog to below 25 points. And, mabigat na bagay yun for a player such as Alvin Vitog, who was averaging 30 plus points during their first two games.
32.5 points, diba, in their first 2 games. Could have been history if he scored over 30. The first player in SINAG Liga ASYA history to score 30. But let's see if NRMC basketball can finally put an end to this 2-game losing skid, or will Santa Rosa finally get 2-0 for the first time in their tournament lives dito through 2 seasons. Santa Rosa will start 2-0. Malalaman po natin yan. But before that, let's turn it back over dito kay Daphne Lozano for her report on the 2 teams facing off in this ballgame. Daphne?
With the comeback of the reigning season MVP of the first season of SinagLakasKwarenta, Mr. Gilbert Malabanan of the Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints, he said that we can expect his leadership and energy to shine through just like he did last season. Now let's see if he will be able to help his whole team get their second win today. Now coming up, now let's turn it over to our game announcer, Mr. Ram Valid, for our SINAG starters of the match.
And the basketball action continues. Magandang gabi mga ka-SLA. We're coming to you live inside the amazing SM SOUTHMALL, Las Piñas City. Welcome to SINAG Liga ASYA, SinagLakasKwarenta 2.0. Presented to you by SINAG Liga ASYA and co-presented to you by CDO Foods Beer Incorporated. Foods that brings you home and true religion, Philippines. You can also catch the live action at SINAG Liga ASYA official FB page and YouTube channel at SINAG Liga ASYA TV. We got the doubleheader games for the day 18 of the competition. Our first match is the battle between Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints and NRMC Basketball. And now let's meet the starting lineups of the protagonists. First, for your Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints. Starting at point guard from Tarlac, number 27, Bill Dalizay. Shooting guard from Calamba, number 11, Michael Tajegra. Small forward from Santa Rosa, number 16, Gilbert Desengaño. Power forward, number 12, from Tarlac, John McCalma. And center from San Pedro, number 15, Coach Gilbert Malabanan. Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints is led by head coach Dave Gomez, assistant coach John Sarmiento, team manager Ms. Jeline Hernandez, team owner Mr. Dave Gomez and Mr. Edward Salvador. Your Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints. And now let's meet the starting 5 of your NRMC Basketball. At guard from Quezon City, number 8, Brian Orayenza. Also guard from Caloocan, number 9, Alvin Peter. At forward from QZ, number 29, Dennis Tutanes. Also at forward from Quezon City, number 45, Alvin Delvino. And center from Quezon City, number 85, Ryan Ruby. NRMC Basketball is led by Coach Toto Valdivarona, assistant coaches Raymond Rizoro, Chris Santos, team manager Mr. Alvin Delfino and Mr. Alvin Reodica, assistant team manager Mr. Alan Reodica. Your NRMC Basketball. Game officials are Dennis Escaro, Shervin Bautista, Noel Menchero, and alternate referee John Lezigers.
And here are your SINAG Lakas starters of the game for NRMC basketball. They started Urayenza, Vitog, Ruby, Tutanes, and Delfino. Para naman dito sa panig ng Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints. They started with Dalisay, Taniegra, Macalma, Desigano, and the reigning MVP, Magic Malabanan. Who will put an end? Will it be itong 1-2 NRMC? Or will it be the 1-0 Santa Rosa Saints. Taniegra goes to Macalma. John gets stripped from behind by Orienza. Michael from the outside. No go fighting for the rebound. Macalma and Desiganyo. Yun nga lang, Gilbert D steps out of bounds.
Yes. And yun nga, magandang yung ating game story. Put an end for NRMC again. Put an end to their 2-game losing streak. Ito namang ang Santa Rosa Saints. Siyempre, put an end to a slow start kasi they always start off slow.
Yes.
Even nung kanilang season 1, they always start off slow. And nakita rin natin yun in that last game. And again, a 1-point victory for them. So they want to start off on a strong start here. And they want to put an end doon sa kanilang, kumbaga markado na sa kanila na always slow starting sila.
Totoo. I mean, last season, 0-2 sila nagsimula sa tournament. And they won their very first game against Bayabas Kenelip. Ironically, with the final score, 75-74 din.
Yes.
And it was Ronald Hawkins din na nakatira ng tres na yun.
Yes.
But that was back in one arena. So, di ba? Parang deja vu para dito sa Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints.
Yes, at syempre malaking bagay din in that first game na kailangan nila yung katulad nito ni Coach Gilbert kasi again, he's averaging a double-double in the first season and syempre iba yung nadadala kang double-double numbers regularly, no? Tignan mo ngayon, andito na siya, he's bringing his leadership, his double-double numbers. But again, he will be a marked man here for NRMC.
And the question is also Coach Gilbert's conditioning. Tandaan natin, galing pa siyang US nung Friday lang siya nakabalik dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Another miss from point blank from NRMC. Hirap na hirap para yung komponan dito makascore as finally someone scores. It's Bill Dalisay.
And yun nga, sabi mo si Coach Gilbert Malabanan, Friday ng gabi dumating. Saturday morning, first game siya dun sa kanyang school na Lyceum. So, wala pang masyadong pahinga. Then, linggo, ensayo.
Baka nakakaramdam pa yun ng jet lag. Kaya paano, di ba? Hirap nun. As Urayenza from the outside knocks it down for Brian Urayenza.
Yun naman yung madadala nito ni Brian Urayenza, you know? Yung kanyang regular scoring. But again, their 1-2 punch of Vitug and Urayenza, kulang yung kanilang help here. Kaya kailangan mag-perform tulad nga nito ni Ralph Ruby. Medyo kailangan kumakuha yung rhythm niya. Kasi nga, Arnold Gamboa is not in the lineup for NRMC. So, Ralph Ruby will be that major big man for this NRMC squad.
And Ralph Ruby, I mean, siya talaga pwede makatoka dito kay Coach Gilbert, di ba?
Oo.
As Malabanan, speaking of, drives baseline, is fouled by Tutanes.
Yun nga lang, nakita mo, simula nitong game na to, ang ginagawa ni Coach Toto Valdevarona, he wants to start off small ang bumabantay dito.
Take a look at this jumper by Alvin Vito.
Simple lang, no?
But I think the small ball lineup by Coach Toto is actually working kasi natatakbuhan nila. At least, you know, challenge mo yung conditioning ni Coach Gilbert Malabanan ngayon.
Yes.
They take a gauge. Is he in condition? And I got a chance to talk to Coach Dave Gomez, the head coach of Fully Tech Santa Rosa Saints kanina. Kahit sila, hindi sila sure in the conditioning ni Coach Gilbert. And even Coach Gilbert himself daw hindi sure sa kanyang conditioning. But speaking of itong NRMC basketball and Coach Toto Valdevarona, let's give it over to Daphne Lozano. Dahil kanina nakausap niya si Coach Toto Valdevarona.
According to NRMC basketball head coach Toto Valdevarona, one of the biggest challenges today ang height mismatch between their team and their opponents. Even so, they will maximize their speed and agility in terms of their offensive attacks. Back to you, Enzo and Alvin.
Thank you so much, Daphne. And yun nga height mismatch talaga, regardless if they go big or small, di ba? It's still going to be a mismatch. You have Macalma, Coach Gilbert on the front court ngayon. Off the bench pa yung Enerson Navalta para sa Santa Rosa, di ba? So,
ganun nga talaga ka-importante that you do have, you play smarter on offense here with see that Alvin Vito bumabawi ngayon. But again, you were talking about the offensive onslaught of NRMC. Yun yung kanilang range talaga from the outside. So beat them from the outside and do not let the big man or big men of Santa Rosa score inside. And just like that, kita mo, si Coach Gilbert, easy lang siya just sa painted area.
And I'm not seeing is in this, in this first, 4 minutes, near 4 minutes of the game. Mas tingnan muna natin itong lakas shot of the quarter brought by CDO Food, Spear Food that brings you home. Galing ito kay Alvin Vito, his 5th point of the first quarter. But yun I'm not seeing through 4 minutes of playing time for Santa Rosa that much involvement for Coach Gilbert to facilitate their offense. Parang
Yes.
siya yung final option. Parang ginagawa siyang nilalaro muna sa dunker spot or poposte. Hindi na siya yung nagdadala ng bola, maraming pin down screens for him to get the ball. Kumbaga pati sila, they are aware that Coach Gilbert's conditioning might not be up to par, di ba?
Yes, tsaka sanay tayo from the first season that this is what he usually
Yan ang
does.
sanay tayo.
Oh, yan. Siya yung nagbababa ng bola.
Oo.
Siya yung mag-orchestrate ng play. Ngayon, kapag bumagal ang laro ng Santa Rosa Saints, nakita natin ngayon, they are not starting off with Coach Gilbert at the top of the key. That is the usual play
Yes.
of Santa Rosa. Na they always go to the top of the key to Coach Gilbert and he orchestrates and finds open teammates when available.
Totoo. And, you know, nakikita ko nga as kanina nakita natin yung pasahan ng dalawang Gilbert D to Gilbert M. We saw a lot of that last season and we will see it one more time dito for our Lakas Play of the Quarter. Brought to you by J Project, clothing shop, makers of quality uniform. Magic Malabanan to Gilbert Tesiganyo. Yun I can see that Coach Dave Gomez's rotations, once na pagpasok dito ni Coach Gilbert Malabanan, nagbago kasi he has JV Imperial and Ronald Hawkins and Ronel Manguiat coming off the bench, di ba?
Yun yung, kumbaga tawag natin dyan, kung may big three tayo usually the starters, ito yung super three nila na super subs nila, no?
The baseline jumper is good. Para dito kay Dennis Tutanes.
And even Coach Gilbert says, my fault. Kasi humihingi siya ng bola. Kita kagad ng depensa napupunta sa kanya yung bola.
Look at that swing by Macalma to Deseganyo. Hindi alam pumasok for Gilbert. Macalma gets it back. John against Rubin. Look at that. And that's the advantage of Santa Rosa now with John Macalma in the lineup together with Enerson Navalta. Hindi lang si Coach Gilbert Malabanan na nag-iisa nilang big man. They now have John Macalma and Enerson Navalta who both played in different teams no season 1.
Yun yung kailangan talagang trabahuhin ngayon itong mga bigs ng Santa Rosa Saints. A lot of impact will be built na itong si Coach Gilbert is now playing more on the inside than the usual na nakikita nating top of the key. But he's playing in the inside with two other big men helping him out. So, ang nangyayari ngayon, he now plays his natural position during his college days, which is the 3 position. He now plays that position here.
And even in Ginebra, di ba, yung 4 spot, di ba?
The 3 and 4.
It's Coach Gilbert back at his regular. And he's not tasked to do a lot, di ba, na siya na yung kailangang rebound, siya na yung maging shot blocker, last line of defense.
Yes.
But you now have John Macalma and NR Navalta on your team. Yung kumbaga natuto sila dun sa finals In that finals, where they struggled against Tito Rex's Firewire was the big men. Guys like Fuliente, Luwalhati, Edward Bautista. That beret of bigs ng Tito Rex noon, talagang pinalaban si Coach Gilbert in the finals in 2 games.
Yes. Yun nga yung naging importante doon for this squad of Tito Rex noon dahil talagang dinumina sila ngayon. Mas marami ng help dito si Coach Gilbert. Just like that, diba? Yung depensa sa ilalim. And do you know that Ralph Ruby is a big factor also inside? Not just from this season but last season. But you get to give a chance talaga for Coach Gilbert to play more off the ball. Yun talaga yung magiging magandang takbo dito. Wow, move there.
Grabe naman yun for Brian Urayenza.
Ni Yoyo.
Oo. Yung mga ganong layup ni Urayenza, he's been doing that last season. Pero magugulat ka pa rin kasi let's not forget, 40 and above na itong mga naglalaro. You do not expect them to do those kinds of layups.
And then remember, Brian Oreyenza is coming off the bench last year for the
San Juan
Exile pa siya. No? So ngayon, he's the lead point guard for NRMC. Ang ganda pa rin ng kanyang performance.
Totoo. I mean, parang mas dumodoble at mas consistent na ngayon. It's Urayenza. Throws up a wild shot. Taniegra on the run. Gives it to Coach Gilbert. 3-on-1. Malabanan. Oh, good shovel pass by Marcelia to Deseganyo.
And that is the extra passing naman itong Santa Rosa Saints na hindi nawawala since last year. Yung mga extra passes. And you know that Gilbert Deseganyo will always be that trailer for this squad.
Totoo. Pero ito, this guy, Alvin Bitog, one of the top scorers in this league. And Rubin misses. And I was gonna say, kailangan yung inside presence ni Ralph Rubi para malibre si Bitog at si Urayenza, di ba? Bitog still makes that difficult one-legged jumper.
Isipin mo, no, Alvin Vitog, simpleng-simple lang. Nakaka-7 puntos na kagad dito sa simula ng ating quarter na to.
7 puntos pala, di ba? First quarter. Kaya hindi ka magugulat bakit 30 na agad din, di ba?
Oo.
Mamaya,
32.5 average niya in the two games.
32.5 ata. I may check that again. But speaking of checking, Michael Taniegra knocks down the 3 from the outside. First 3 points for Taniegra, the deadly shooter of the Saints.
Wow, what a move!
Beautiful Euro by Totanes, and that even got Coach Gilbert's approval.
Nagulat din siya, no? Nag-Euro, pagpakanan, sidestep.
Napaagat niya si Coach Gilbert eh.
And if you get the stamp of approval from Coach Gilbert, that's a 100% good plus point sa'yo.
Look at that. The league leader in offensive rebounds and also the league leader in rebounds for guards last season 1. Gilbert Desigano, nagpakita na naman, lumipad na naman siya. But take a look at this muna, ang ating lakas move of the quarter. Brought to you by True Religion brand jeans. What a move there by Dennis Totanes.
That's so smooth.
Right now, parehong koponan going to their bench. Ang natira lang sa starters for both squads. For Santa Rosa, it's Macalma and ito si Desigano. Para naman dito sa paning NRMC, it's only Alvin Vitog and Urayenza.
Pero isipin mo, no? Itong mga players natin dito, perfect example of balancing work and play.
Yes.
Ito si Gilbert Desigano. Sabi ko sa inyo last year, I'll just repeat this. This guy is a med rep. So, isipin mo, med rep siya sa umaga. Pagdating ng hapon, nagtatrabaho siya, nag-ensayo siya for this Santa Rosa Saints. And he plays na parang wala siyang kapagod-pagod, no?
Speaking of walang kapagod-pagod, social media darling, Super Mangi scores his first 2 points. And yan nga, Super Mangi coming off the bench. Pwede ng explosive score. But speaking of explosion right there, grabe naman yung bangga na yun.
Bulldozer. Si Zagado, Haji Zagado.
Number 91. Tumba dun si Enar Navalta eh. JV at the corner. Attack Sagun's defense. Ball's loose underneath Navalta. Gets stripped by Vito, but he gets it back. Super Mangi from the outside. Back iron for Mangiat. Urayenza, tumatakbo. Brian tried to kick it out, but good defense by JV Imperial. On the other end, Marcelia to Super Mangi. 4 quick points agad for Super Mangiat.
And sabi nga natin, ito si Mangiat is their super sub from last season. Pag off the bench yan, ito yung 6th man. Kung meron tayong award talagang 6th man of the year, no?
No question
siya yun.
No question. As Alvin Vitog now with 9 points. Super Mangi off the bench averaging 20, di ba? How rare is that, di ba? Yung top scorer. Top scorer pa siya ng Santa Rosa sa lagay na yun. Coach Gilbert was averaging 15. Super Mangi was averaging 20. As ito the toss-up to Urayenza. Hindi nataabot yung tira niya. Hindi rin naman pumasok nonetheless. But it's NRMC basketball through the hands of Alvin Vitog with 9 first quarter points. Lamang sila ngayon ng 6 na puntos as we take a look at his first quarter highlights. And that started us off dito sa scoring natin dito in Bill Dalisay layup. And then Super Mangi announces his re-entry in this league with 4 quick points coming off the bench for the Saints. Pero itong NRMC being led by Alvin Vitog's 9 points. Lamang na 6 na puntos after the first quarter, 23-17.
Project Clothing Shop has been a sublimation company for a long time. We have evolved by proving quality and top-notch products for our customers. The design jerseys are carefully examined and printed in a quality machine that produces a fast printing, the biggest machine in the printing industry. In the sewing section, all the sewing experts use quality thread, needles and machine to make the product good-looking and durable. We customize clothing and sportswear in full sublimation. What are you waiting? Visit us now.
Head coach Dave Gomez of the Santa Rosa Saints said that as they eye for the 2-0 winning streak, they will still perform their system that is anchored on defense. They aim to show different phases of defensive patterns in countering their opponents. Back to you, Enzo and Alvin.
Thank you so much, Daphne, for that report. And yun different patterns of defense. Kasi nga, may elite scorer ka na Alvin Vitog on the floor, di ba, Coach Alvin?
Yes, oo. Malaking bagay kasi yung si Alvin Vitog talaga. And again, the question here will be, you don't have Orienza on the floor, you don't have Vitog on the floor. Where will they get the points?
Diba?
Yun yung nagiging problem talaga nila in their last 2 losses here. Because in the first game, syempre, first game ng NRMC, hindi pa scouted.
Yes.
Itong NRMC. So that is where malaking bagay talaga yung explosion ni Alvin Vitog. Now, this is the second game. They played their second game. They played their third game. Alam na nila na kapag nawala ito si Alvin Vitog, nawala si Brian Orienza, they will struggle.
And yun din yung naging problema ng Santa Rosa last season, di ba? When Manguiat, Tanyegra, and also Coach Gilbert Malabanan are in the starters. Kasi Ronald Hawkins is not known as a 30 points per game scorer, di ba? He's known as that clutch basket getter, pero hindi siya known for 30 points, di ba? Unlike his brother, Bo Hawkins, di ba? Bong Hawkins. But now they have guys like that. I was just gonna say his name, JV Imperial, who can knock down those shots, facilitate, who's a legit 10 and 10 player, di ba? 15 and 10, 10 and 10. Ito si JV Imperial last season for the AMB Mamba.
Yes. And if you can remember, ito si Hawkins, again, his usual numbers will be 9 points to 12 points per game. Pero yung 9 to 12 points na yan, malaking bagay yan. Pero this guy will be very special for this squad this season.
Lakas shot of the quarter brought to you by CDO Food, Spear Food that brings you home. I mean, yun nga last year, played for AMB Mamba, double-double machine in points and assists. Ngayon, he's playing for a team that went to the finals. May chemistry na. Yun yung din naman sabi ni Coach David. He's still trying to feel it out daw with the new players. And especially with the re-entry of Coach Gilbert Malabanan to the lineup. Kailangan din makapa ni Coach Gilbert yung laro nito ni Imperial. Kasi JV needs the ball in his hands din naman.
Kasi kung titingnan mo, itong lineup ng Santa Rosa Saints, wala namang nawala sa kanilang major core piece.
Yes.
Diba? Andyan si Manguiat, nandyan pa rin si Hawkins, nandyan si Malabanan, nandyan si Tanyegra, nandyan
and
pa
si
rin.
Bochok Intano ata, last game was a starter, di ba? Ngayon wala si Bochok Intano.
Pero andyan pa rin yung core
Yes.
nila from last year. Now, you add Imperial to the mix. That is a major piece na alam nating maganda rin tinakbo ng team nila from last year. It was a Cinderella finish for them, di ba?
Right.
Now, you add a JV Imperial that averages a double-double from last season. Ano pa i-expect natin dito sa Santa Rosa Saints, di ba? They will really be a marked squad dito sa ating LakasKwarenta.
Totoo. And I mean, we were just talking about yung Tito Rex in their debut last time, di ba? Tito Rex nag-retool, dinagdag yung Andeng Kerubin from Taytay J Project, now playing for Tito Rex's Firewire, the champions, and retaining their core. So yung dalawang finals teams natin, retain their core.
Wala naman nawala
wala nawala. And yet they added some
major
complementary pieces that will, especially Santa Rosa. You add this guy na Valta, you add JV Imperial to the mix, di ba? And kita mo Manguiat can now play off the ball.
Hindi na siya yung kailangan mag-point guard na. Pag nasa labas si Coach Gilbert, yung, di ba, usually he's the one bringing down the ball.
And siya pa yung titira at the end of the play, di ba?
Pagka bigay ng bola sa kanya, papasa niya sa iba, biglang babagsak pa rin ulit sa kanya yung bola.
Sagum tried to drop it off. Dito naman sa panig ng NRMC, they're a new team, but some of their players, kagaya ni Sagum, is a retained player.
Yes.
Ide Sagum and also Ninoy Sagum both played for Ball Up Athletics West Fairview last season. Together with a couple of guys, yun nga, si Urayenza na banggit natin, di ba? And Ralph Ruby who played for Mapua 521. So, meron sila mga players dito na naglaro na last season but hindi sila magkakakampi. So, they're still unfamiliar.
Yes, hindi sila magkakakampi in one way or another sa ganito kalaking liga. But again, they are playing each other from time to time sa mga maliliit na liga. Kaya nga itong NRMC, sinabi nga ni Coach Arnold nung one time na sila, hindi sila parang magkakasama sa malalaking liga, pero sa mga papawis, magkakasama sila dito. So, pero iba pa rin yung larong papawis kasi sa ganitong klase ng tournament.
Totoo yun. Yun na nga yung sa other players kasi last season, naging papawis lang daw dapat ang lakas 40
Yes,
natin. Until they saw how big it was, how intense the games was.
Yung bakbakan, no? Ibang klase. And right now, basket there.
Grabe. And ito, for NRMC, they're still continuing to score. As we said, yung problema was scoring without Vitug on the floor in Urienza. They're actually doing it ngayon, ha?
Namamroblema sila dito. Pero again, they are on top, but there you go. A score there para kay Rivera.
And that's the one thing para dito kay Rivera na yun talaga yung advantage niya, those baseline jumpers. He did a lot of that against San Juan, or sorry, I'm still used to that name, di ba? Jetur Exile in the last game. With Alan Zagado threw it away after getting the steal.
Oh, that's a three there. Good one there.
Super Mangi na naman, di ba?
Yes, Super Mangi. Big three there.
We were just talking about yung init ng kamay ni Alvin Vitug. Ngayon naman, Super Mangi.
Yun yung kamatchup niya dito.
Oo.
Kung porsyento lang din yung shooting. Mangi kontra Vitug yan dyan sa 3-point shooting.
And a double foul, I believe, is whistle right here. Coach Gilbert will enter the ball game back. Right now, uupo muna itong si NR Navalta, who's a little bit struggling.
But again, you're giving them 5 minutes of rest. Ito si Coach Gilbert. Malaking bagay.
We can see this naka-stress of the quarter brought by Sunsport, the official basketball of SinagLakasKwarenta. Super Mangi now with 7 points. And a turnover para dito sa NRMC. Big steal there. Joey Rivera mishandled the pass. Attack itong Saints. They go back outside. JV from the outside. Back-to-back threes now for the Saints.
Simple kay Imperial yan. Open na open. You give me an open shot. I-make natin yan para sa Santa Rosa.
Good kick out. Right there. Good. And then the three-pointer for JV Imperial cuts the lead down to 2. 29-27.
Sa unang subo hanggang huli, parang kisa aking pisngi. Kain love, love talaga. Kahit di sabihin, feel na love kami. Kain love, love talaga.
This SinagLakasKwarenta 2.0 is brought to you by CDO Food Spear, food that brings you home. Ronald Hawkins, Super Mangi, and Coach Gilbert Malabanan. But let's take a focus here on Super Mangi at 15 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal against the JC2/Sea Lions.
Mababa pa yan.
Mababa pa yan.
Para dyan kay Super Mangi. Pero it's not the usual numbers again for Ronald Mangiat. But again, his numbers, aangat yan sa mga susunod na laro for this squad.
Oh, another basket from underneath. Dennis Tutanes, kakabalik pa lang nito ni Tutanes together with Alvin Vitug. So, they're getting good production itong NRMC from Tutanes.
Yes, and sakto naman medyo nagmimintis pa. Ito si Ronald Hawkins for Santa Rosa. So again, they are making the baskets here. And ang kailangan dito ngayon gawin ng NRMC is, sige, nagmi-miss tong kabila. Kailangan maka-basket din tayo naman sa kabila. Hindi pwedeng pantayan natin yung mintis nitong Santa Rosa Saints because hindi pa gumagana yung scoring ni Hawkins. Hindi pa gumagana yung laro mismo ni Coach Gilbert Malabanan. So it's just Mangiat and Imperial that are scoring here in this quarter for the Santa Rosa Saints.
Medyo tahimik pa nga si Coach Gilbert, diba?
Yes.
JV against De La Cruz. They swing the ball around. Super Mangi goes to Pradas. Oh, masyadong malakas yung pasa doon ni Del Rosario. Upo muna ito si Super Mangi. Michael Taniegra comes back into the game for Santa Rosa. Dito naman sa panig na NRMC. Nakaupo pa rin si Urienza dahil ang ganda na nilalaro. As of now, neto ni
Rivera.
Rivera.
Yes.
B2 fires. Oh! Knocks it down! Plus a foul!
Ayan ang kanyang calling card talaga, yung 3-point shooting. And he has been on a good roll in the last 2 games. Even though, yeah, 22 points only, but he making that lakas stress of the court.
Brought to you by Sunsport, the official basketball of SinagLakasKwarenta. Grabe yun, ha? Got clipped on the right side of his body and yet still able to make that 3-point shot, di ba?
Mas gusto pala niya yung may depensa, no?
Oo, ayaw niya ng open.
And this guy is averaging 29 points in the tournament. Tama ka, 32.5 in the last game. He only scored 22. So bumaba yung average niya from 32.5 to 29 ngayon.
Thank you for confirming my math. As Vito gets bumped by Taniegra, that's a clear foul galing kay Michael.
Naalala ko kasi nandito pa sa akin yung record, yung computation natin.
Oo, di ba?
32.5. Ngayon, 29 points average. Andun pa rin, no?
Close to that talaga eh. As free throw pa tong si Alvin Vito Gamin. This is why we call him a professional scorer, as JV Imperial. Uupo muna.
And I even nicknamed him the Bazooka. Kasi pag pumotok yung shooting niya sa 3 points, iba eh. Iba yung nadadalang momentum for NRMC.
But yun nga lang, in the 4th quarter last game, he really struggled against Jetour Exile,
Yes.
diba? So, yung kumbaga, nasabi nga natin, na para siyang naubusan ng bala.
Nabusan na ng bala.
And that's why we're saying that guys like Urayenza, Tutanes, Rivera, crucial dito for NRMC to support Vito. But right now, let's give it over to Daphne Lozano for her report on the head coach of Fulitec Santa Rosa Saints, Coach Dave Gomez.
As they try to lessen the gap, the Santa Rosa Saints have another goal in mind, which is to stop Alvin Vitog of NRMC. With this, Coach Dave said that he will put his defensive lineup in full force to clamp Mr. Vitog. Back to you, Enzo and Alvin.
Thank you so much, Daphne. And is this it? Yung full force na defensive lineup ni Coach Dave Gomez, diba? Kasi again, this is his new set of, hindi naman new set of players, but a new group with a couple of new faces for Santa Rosa Saints, diba?
Yes.
So, hindi natin kilala.
Oo, at saka syempre, ito, nakikita nila gumagana yung scoring nito. So, binibigyan niya ngayon ng option. Itong mga players nila na show up your defensive intensity because gumagana yung opensa nitong NRMC.
As Maui Pradas draws a foul there. Pagka-hop step niya, libre, binali pa nga ganun. Nagulat ako dun sa move na yun, kay Maui.
Alam mo, simple-simple nun. Again, di mo isipin na 40 pero yung free throws niya.
Yun nga lang, airball.
Minadali niya kasi yung free throw. Ayan, diba? Ngayon, punas muna. Tingnan natin, balance.
Look at that.
Boarding,
I was gonna say it. How crazy that is, di ba? Yung mga...
Yung tira niya kasi noon, feeling ko nadulas yung bola sa pag-free throw niya, kaya...
Pinunas niya.
Tapos.
Sinur na niya yung boarding, di ba?
Oo, mas sure yung boarding.
Rivera travels that time. Good defense. And eto na tayo. Like, this might be it. Coach Alvin, that defensive 5 na sinasabi nga ni Daphne from Coach Dave kanina.
Yun nga, kailangan trabawin nila yung defensive 5 nila. So, defense, good. Let's go to the offense. You have this guy orchestrating for their squad.
Taniegra, natapik yung pasa. And Coach Gilbert, kita mo yung frustration sa mukha niya. Ang ganda na sana ng pasa, di lang niya talaga nasalo.
Nawala eh, no? Masyadong malakas yung pasa. And even him says, pwede na eh, malapit na ako eh.
Oo, andun na eh. As Rivera misses that gimme, but he gets it back. And look at that, never missed twice from the same spot itong si Joey Rivera.
Oh, hindi naman nagkaamuyan to si Pradas at saka si Coach Gilbert malabanan doon sa play na yon. Kaya napulot ng NRMC yung bola doon.
And that must be the chemistry nga na tinutukoy nga ni Coach Dave Gomez. Na possibly maging issue for them ngayon as Malabanan underneath scores the basket plus a foul.
That is how Coach Gilbert made a name for himself in that first season. Yung inside plays niya, and look at that! Scoring inside the MVP.
The last drive of the quarter brought to you by CDO Food, Spear Food that brings you home. Man who averaged 15 points, 11 rebounds, and close to 8 assists per game. Former Barangay Ginebra Cager and the inaugural LakasKwarenta MVP. Short nga lang yung free throw niya.
Yun yung Achilles heel talaga ni Coach Gilbert. The free throw.
Sa lahat ng laro niya, no? Yun lang talaga.
Wow!
Butas. Ito, this man, I don't think there's a hole in this man's game, di ba? Especially on the scoring side.
Yung last time nga if you can remember, we both covered that game. Yun,
Oo.
yung sabi nga niya, bakit yung pangit yung nilaro niya doon? May injury pa daw siya.
Injury pa daw siya. Diba? Pangit pa laro mo, 22. Sa iba nga, career high na yung 22 eh.
Pag 22 points, may injury ka pa. So, ibig sabihin talaga, pag wala siyang injury, 30 points.
30 points talaga, di ba? Ito. They're trapping the people on the baseline para sa NRMC. Oh, good tap right here. Tumatakbo ito si Del Rosario and Ariel with the finish.
Nice quick steal. Inunahan na niya ng takbo to si Sanchez.
Double team on the sideline. And stepping on the sideline pa si Urayenza. So the pressure defense galing dito sa Fulitech Santa Rosa is working.
Good close out ng depensa nito ni Pradas at ni Taniegra. So they saw themselves na may chance na i-double team itong si Urayenza.
The three-pointer is a miss para dito kay Del Rosario. Oh, umapak sa labas dun. Ito si Tutanes was expecting for a foul call. Walang pinito yung ating referee. So, turnover na naman for NRMC.
And ito na naman yung madalas na sakit nitong NRMC. Yung how to close out the quarters. Because they always have problems closing out the quarters on a good note. Ang ganda na nga naglalaro ni Vitug, but they have to close it out on a good note and lessen the turnovers.
Malabanan drive shot. Sabri to Pradas. Turnover yan for Santa Rosa and that's a clear foul on Taniegra. Tumama sa mukha ni Sanchez.
Frustration foul yun no? Dahil papunta sana sa kanya yung bola, naagaw ni Sanchez, double block, ay na, pumaul ka pa.
Yes. And I believe 2 free throws so dahil penalty na parehong koponan. So Sanchez will go to the line.
Tingnan mo
Look at that.
Tingnan mo saan siya nagpe-free throw.
Yes. In all my life, I've only seen one other guy do that and kaliwete siya. Doon naman siya sa left side. Kilala ni Coach Pancho to, Richard Kwong.
Actually, may bigyan kita na isa.
Meron pa isa?
Kaya, from UST. They're foreign student athlete ngayon. Yeah, I'll try to double check that name.
Oo. Ito, 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining in this second quarter. And again, NRMC has had trouble finishing quarter, especially last game against Jetour Exile, di ba? And we know, etong Santa Rosa, bigyan mo sila ng konting momentum entering the second half. Bigla na lang puputok yan and then, you know, magugulat ka na lang. Lamang
How itong Santa Rosa Saints should stop the likes of Vitug here in the quarter. Ang ganda na ng shooting ito. Double figures already for Alvin Vitug here in this ball game. We're just waiting here.
may binigyan na info sa akin ng ating CEO. Meron pa daw palang ganun din mag-free throw. Tatay ni Mike Bibi. Si Henry Bibi.
Henry Bibi.
Si Mike Bibi ang kilala ko, hindi ko kilala yung Henry Bibi. Kaya nagulat ako. Sino sabi ni Coach Leo na Henry Bibi?
Tatay. Yun nga,
tatay.
Yes.
Paano, nung sinabi niya, check mo yung Henry Bibi. Sabi ko, Bibi, ano ni Mike Bibi? Tatay.
Tatay. Kaya nga, second generation si Mike Bibi.
I didn't know na Henry pangalan ng tatay niya. As our Mappers muna will make sure na tuyo yung floor. Of course, again, the health and safety of the players are always the priority.
Siyempre.
But within a minute and 11 seconds natitira sa ating second quarter, NRMC needs to lock down on defense and, continue what they're doing on offense. Kasi nga, if Santa Rosa can at least cut this lead down, it's currently at 9, di ba?
Yes.
They have the momentum entering the second half and alam natin, dangerous na dangerous sila. Kagaya niyan, high-low play, malabanan to Pradas.
Parang nakita ko na yan, season 1, ganun ang ginagawa
Yes.
ni Coach Gilbert. So, Coach Gilbert returning to his roots na mas kailangan niyang gawin yun para makahabol sila dito.
Totoo, and right now, they get another stop. Ariel gives it to Coach Gilbert. Kala ko ilalabas na yung dila, pero bumangga. Sobrang alam for Coach Gil. As wala pa rin yung layup doon ni Del Rosario. Sanchez tumatakbo. Tries to roll it over to Urayenza pero nawala ng real estate doon si Brian. Again, the last 3 minutes of quarters has been a problem for NRMC.
Yes, sabi nga natin, how they will close it strong. Lamang na sila dito kanina na 11. Itong Santa Rosa getting their timely basket but missing that shot there.
An open look, even though Del Rosario missed, that was an open look. You'd take that shot anytime. As Ninoy Sagum with an answer right there.
Good pass there, Alvin Vitog, kasi nilidepensa na siya in that last possession.
Look at the dribbling exhibition right here for Santa Rosa. Del Rosario scoops it up. Wala nga lang. Maui with a rebound. Di aabot yung kanyang tira. At itong NRMC, they're able to hold on to this lead. 9-point lead entering the halftime break dito. Being led by that man on your screens, Alvin Vitog, as we take a look at his second quarter highlights. Good start for Santa Rosa in this second quarter. Nag-init kung si JV Imperial and Super Mangi. 5 points for Imperial, 7 points naman for Super Mangi. What a quarter for Santa Rosa sa simula, but then Alvin Vitog's re-entry in the ball game sparked up NRMC after this 4-point play opportunity na binigay ni Alvin in the second quarter. Kaya nga lamang pa rin dito itong NRMC basketball, 47-38 at the half. Can they put an end to their losing streak? Malalaman natin yan sa pagbabalik natin dito sa 2024 SinagLakasKwarenta 2.0.
Shop has been a sublimation company for a long time. We have evolved by proving quality and top-notch products for our customers. The design jerseys are carefully examined and printed in a quality.
What is up mga kasinag? It is the Chief Enzo Galarosa at andirito po tayo for the SLA Inspire Sinag Liga Asya Basketball Clinic in partnership with Leap Basketball PH. Liga na!
Go, ready, stretching.
Unang-una, talagang mag-enjoy yung mga bata. Tapos pangalawa na lang dun yung pagde-develop sa kanila kasi makuha lang natin sila na mag-enjoy, maglaro ng basketball hanggang sa pagtanda. Mission success na tayo doon. Kaya by doing this, talagang grateful kami sa SLA family na talagang nagdala sila ng 75 or plus na mga bata para mag-enjoy at matuto.
Ang dami nag-i-invite sa atin para sa ganitong basketball clinic sa mga lugar-lugar kung saan pupunta ang Sinag Liga Asya para sa buong Pilipinas, sa buong barangay. Sinag Liga Asya, asahan niyo po kami na tutulong kami, pati po ang SLA legend. Abangan niyo mamaya yan, maglalaro sila. Kaya napakaswerte natin kasi General Ronald Lee, kahit na very busy, naisip niya itong basketball clinic na to para sa Bawang La Union. Para po sa lahat ng makapanood nito, sakay na para sa Sinag Liga Asya.
Dapat hindi matapos dito ngayon. Kailangan tuloy-tuloy yung programa natin. Yun ang pinakamaganda dyan. Siyempre, sa tulong ni General Lee, mga ganitong mga basketball clinic at tulong ng SLA at ng LIP, ituloy natin ang programa para sa mga kabataan.
Two claps! Two claps! Okay, go, water break.
Thank you kay General Lee and sa mga tao na nag-organize ng event na to. I believe na madami pang magiging kasunod to, hindi lang dito sa Bawang La Union, kundi sa buong parte ng Pilipinas. Kaya please keep on supporting Sinag Liga Asya and Leap Basketball PH para malay nyo next time, dyan naman kami sa mga lugar nyo.
At yan po mga kasinag, dyan na po magtatapos ang ating Sinag Liga Asya Inspire Basketball Clinic in collaboration with Leap Basketball PH. Tutok lang po kayo kung saan kami susunod nang magbibigay inspirasyon sa mga kabataan. Once again, ako po si Enzo Galarosa of Sinag Liga Asya. We are one.
J Project Clothing Shop, Premium Fabric. We customized, quality printing. Makers of quality uniform. J Project Clothing Shop, Premium Fabric. We customized, quality printing. Makers of quality uniform.
Sobrang bilis ba? Yan ang bilis ng FiberX. Yan ang internet.
Sa unang subo hanggang huli, parang kisa aking pisngi. Kain love, love talaga. Kahit di sabihin, feel na love kami. Kain love, love talaga.
J Project Clothing Shop has been a sublimation company for a long time. We have evolved by proving quality and top-notch products for our customers. The design jerseys are carefully examined and printed in a quality machine that produces a fast printing, the biggest machine in the printing industry. In the sewing section, all the sewing experts use quality thread, needles and machine to make the product good-looking and durable. We customize clothing and sportswear in full sublimation. What are you waiting? Visit us now.
What is up mga kasinag? It is the Chief Enzo Galarosa at andirito po tayo for the SLA Inspire SINAG Liga Asya Basketball Clinic in partnership with Leap Basketball PH. Liga na!
Let's go, ready, stretching.
Unang-una, talagang mag-enjoy yung mga bata. Tapos pangalawa na lang dun yung pagde-develop sa kanila kasi makuha lang natin sila na mag-enjoy, maglaro ng basketball hanggang sa pagtanda. Mission success na tayo doon. Kaya by doing this, talagang grateful kami sa SLA family na talagang nagdala sila ng 75 or plus na mga bata para mag-enjoy at matuto.
Ang dami nag-invite sa atin para sa ganitong basketball clinic sa mga lugar-lugar kung saan pupunta ang SINAG Liga Asya para sa buong Pilipinas, sa buong barangay. SINAG Liga Asya, asahan niyo po kami na tutulong kami, pati po ang SLA legend. Abangan niyo mamaya yan, maglalaro sila. Kaya napakaswerte natin kasi General Ronald Lee, kahit na very busy, naisip niya itong basketball clinic na to para sa Bawang, La Union. Para po sa lahat ng makapanood nito, sakay na para sa SINAG Liga Asya.
Dapat hindi matapos dito ngayon. Kailangan tuloy-tuloy yung programa natin. Yan ang pinakamaganda dyan. Siyempre, sa tulong ni General Lee, mga ganitong mga basketball clinic at tulong ng SLA at ng LIP, ituloy natin ang programa para sa mga kabataan.
Two claps! Two claps! Okay, go, water break.
Thank you kay General Lee and sa mga tao na nag-organize ng event na to. I believe na madami pang magiging kasunod to, hindi lang dito sa Bawang, La Union, kundi sa buong parte ng Pilipinas. Kaya please keep on supporting SINAG Liga Asya and Leap Basketball PH para malay nyo next time, dyan naman kami sa mga lugar nyo.
At yan po mga kasinag, dyan na po magtatapos ang ating SINAG Liga Asya Inspire Basketball Clinic in collaboration with Leap Basketball PH. Tutok lang po kayo kung saan kami susunod nang magbibigay inspirasyon sa mga kabataan. Once again, ako po si Enzo Galarosa of SINAG Liga Asya. We are one.
J Project Clothing Shop, Premium Fabric. We customized, quality printing. Makers of quality uniform. J Project Clothing Shop, Premium Fabric. We customized, quality printing. Makers of quality uniform.
Sobrang bilis ba? Yan ang bilis ng FiberX. Yan ang internet.
Sa unang subo hanggang huli, parang kisa aking pisngi. Kain love, love talaga, kahit di sabihin. Feel na love kami. Kain love, love talaga.
Good evening mga kasinag! Beside me are two very important gentlemen from both teams na hindi lang players, kundi part owner at team manager pa. And that is Mr. Edward Salvador of the Polytech Santa Rosa Saints and Sir Alvin Delfino of NRMC Basketball. Sir Edward, good evening po. What moved you into not just being a part owner but also a player for the team?
Well, actually, always naman ang sagot namin as a player. We love the game. So being a player, we wanted to be part of the game as well. Even though medyo may edad na. Since we love the game, so we wanted to play as much as we can. And being the part owner of the team, so syempre we give support to all our players, to all our teams, and to everyone else who also love the game, so that everybody can always play as long as they can. Sabi nga nila, age doesn't matter.
Yes, Brian. Sir, may gusto po ba kayong batiin at pasalamatan?
Well, yeah, una-una, I would like to thank yung aking partner, co-team owner, si Coach Dave Gomez. And syempre, lahat ng bumubuo ng Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints, ang mga team members nito, ganun din po ang aking wife, si Ala Salvador. At the same time, yung mga supporters namin sa Santa Rosa, like sila Cap Toti, De La Rosa, sila Consinino, Villanueva, at syempre ang aming butihin at magandang mayor na si Mayor Arlene Arcillas. Salamat sa inyo lahat.
And thank you so much po, sir. Now on my left is Mr. Alvin Delfino, a player and team manager of NRMC Basketball. Good evening po, sir. Ayan. So, paano nyo po nababalance, of course, a pagiging player and a team manager?
Madali lang naman kasi during the practice, siyempre magpa-practice tayo bilang isang player Then pagdating naman sa pagiging team manager, siyempre gagampanan mo yung mga ng mga player, yung mga pangangailangan, yung to motivate. Then yung conditioning ng mga player dapat na monitor mo rin bilang isang team manager kasi kasama po yun sa trabaho ng isang team manager po.
And may gusto po ba kayong batiin at pasalamatan, sir?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat kami sa SLA dahil sa opportunity na ibinigay sa amin na mapasali dito. Then, thank you very much sa aming big boss, ang Rio Dica family. Sila po kasi yung may-ari ng team ng NRMC. At higit sa lahat, salamat din sa mga teammates ko na patuloy na mga nagtsatsaga. Dahil mahirap po talaga maging player. Sa lahat ng player ng NRMC, lalo yung mga hindi pa naglalaro, abang-abang kayo, makakasalang din kayo sa laro natin. At binabati ko pala yung aking misis na nasa Riyadh. Binabati ko lahat ng mga taga-Riyadh, lalo na si MJ na aking asawa.
Thank you so much po, sir. And that is all for our SINAG halftime interview. Back to you, Enzo and Alvin.
Thank you so much, Daphne. And thank you so much to Sir Edward Salvador and Sir Alvin Delfino. Yung mga in-interview ni Daphne as itong NRMC basketball lamang 47-38 at the half against Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints. Kami pa rin po ang inyong makasama, Enzo Galarosa and Coach Alvin Tanyada and Coach Alvin in that first half. Bukod sa 18-point explosion ni Alvin Vitog, might I say, very, very explosive. What else did you see sa panig ng NRMC? Why are they still up right now?
Well, nakita naman natin yung field goal shooting nila ay tingnan natin doon sa stats nila. They are shooting very well from the field. That is 50% from the field. Maganda yung shooting na yan for that percentage. And syempre, sa 50% shooting na yan, 50% shooting from 3-point distance, malaki rin bagay yan. And again, they have ample help from itong si Dennis Totanes, helping out ito si Alvin Ditog. But again, we understand that basketball is a 40-minute game.
Yes.
It's not a 20-minute game. Again, maganda na naman yung simula ng NRMC. But again, in the second half, which NRMC will show up? Will it be the first half NRMC or will it be the last game NRMC
right,
na nag-struggle sila in that second half?
Totoo yan, as yun nga they're shooting a high clip dito, 50% as you said. Itong Santa Rosa shooting only 38% from the field. Rebounds, pantay lang. And if you're NRMC basketball, big check yan na pantay lang kasi you're the smaller team.
Yes.
Diba?
And you can see here, halos pantay lang. But again, saan naman nakabawi itong Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints? You see there the bench points, 21-13. Fast break points, 15-8. Malaking bagay yan. And also points in the paint, 20-14. Lamang pa nga itong koponan ng Fulitech on those numbers. But again, it is because of the higher percentage baskets na nakukuha nitong koponan ng NRMC. Kaya nga sila ang lamang dito by 9 points.
Especially through this man, itong si number 9, Alvin Vitog of NRMC basketball. 18 first half points, 9 in the first, 9 in the second, shooting a high clip. 60% from the field, 6 out of 10 sa mamaba ng 3 rebounds at 3 assist.
Oo, basta Alvin, iba talaga shooting, no? Alvin Delfino.
Yes.
Di ba?
Alvin Delfonso.
Alvin Patrimonio, ganyan din. Huwag niyo na ako isama dyan.
I was just waiting, diba? But what a performance for him. 18 points already. 4 points away from his last game performance as he leads all scorers with 18. Tutanes with 8-6 for Orienza and Joey Rivera for NRMC Basketball. Para naman dito sa Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints, Manguiat leads them with 7 points, Gilbert Desegaño and Ariel Del Rosario with 6, and JV Imperial with 5 coming off the bench.
And missing factors for Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints, 2 players, Gilbert Malabanan and Ronald Hawkins, not yet there.
Let's see how the Saints bounce back in this second half, or will NRMC continue their steamroll? Bago natin mapanood ang ating second half, kapit na po mga kasinag. We will be right back. Points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 60% from the field. Ito si Alvin Vitug. Let's see how he performs in this second half and what adjustments Santa Rosa has made in their defensive lineup as in and out yung tres doon ni Hawkins.
Yes, and Ronald Hawkins really struggling here in this matchup. 0 out of 5
yes.
from 3-point distance for the Hawk. The baby Hawk actually, kasi sabi niya baby Hawk kasi ang, si Kuya Bong
niya,
daw eh.
Si Kuya Bong, of course. Medyo ano pa, maalat pa yung shooting ni Ronald Hawkins, but we know once he hits one, pagdating na fourth quarter, sunod-sunod na yan. But ito sa panig naman ng NRMC, again, tale of 2 halves lagi sa kanila eh. Good block right there by Ruby. And Makalma trying to power through, and that will be a jump ball. And ball possession arrow points the way of NRMC. So back-to-back good defensive stops from NRMC.
Yes, and yun yung sinabi natin kanina. NRMC will always be a story of 2 halves. First half, maganda sinisimula nila. But again, the second half, that will be the story here. And this guy will be the barometer of the second half here. And nakita mo naman yung depensa agad dito sa Santa Rosa Saints. Todo na para dito kay Alvin Vitug.
Totoo, as Malabanan to Manguiat who leaked out, and that'll be 9 points now for Super Mangi. And what a dime there from Coach Gilbert.
Yes, 5 points lang to si Coach Gilbert Malabanan. Pero he needs to get more support, not just in scoring, but again on the others like assists and rebounds.
Just like that, they force a miss dito on Ralph Ruby, tas tumama pa. Si Alvin Delfino yung bola papalabas. So ball will go back to Santa Rosa, who's now just chasing 7 points.
Yes, and nakita natin, after first few possessions of this game, maganda yung nagsisimula dito, but good defense there. Pero nandun si Coach Gilbert to get the ball.
Imperial from the other corner. That'll be short. Fight for the loose ball. Vito gets it. Alvin on the run against Hawkins. Vito, good defense. Galing kay Ronald Hawkins.
Basang-basa ni Ronald Hawkins yung depensa na yon.
Good strip right there. Pero still, Ralph Ruby gets the basket.
First 2 points here in the second half. Para dito, tingnan mo 2 minuto na. Pero umangat naman yung depensa nitong Santa Rosa Saints here in this second half. Nakikita natin in the first few minutes.
Super Mangi from the outside. Ayaw pa rin for Manguiat.
And yung quick trigger kagad, no? Nitong nila Mangi, nila Imperial. Finding those open shots, hindi nga lang pumapasok.
Ready to shoot lagi, di ba? Ruby with the offensive board for NRMC. They give it to Urienza. Brian throws it away. That'll be another turnover for NRMC, their 3rd of the quarter. Hawkins may not be scoring, but is making a change here defensively for the Saints. Ronald, the toss-up. Manguia, 3-pointer. Ayaw pa rin. Makalma, offensive rebound. Putback, wala yun.
Yung mga easy gimmies na lang, no? For Santa Rosa, hindi pa rin nila makuha.
Oo, Vitug ayaw talaga. Pahirapan na for Alvin Vitug.
Yes, alam na kasi. Nila ko anong gagawin. This guy will, could have been a very vocal person doon sa dugout nila kanina, Coach Gilbert Malabanan.
Oo, as ito. Ruby drops it off to Vitug against Hawkins, and finally, Alvin Vitug scores. 20 points now for Vitug.
Usual day in the office for Alvin Vitug.
Literal na usual day in the offense, diba? Hawkins from way downtown. Ayaw talaga for Ronald. Now 0 for 6 now from 3. Oh, good drive right there by Tutanes.
Ito yung hinahanap natin na third player to help out from behind itong si Vitug at saka si Orienza. Tutanes now is the one that is helping out. Kasi nga, ito si Ruby, hindi pa rin naman masyadong gumagawa here in this ball game. Still scoreless here in the ball game. But again, good thing na nandyan itong si Tutanes to help out dito sa cause nila.
Finally for Ronald Hawkins.
Nakahinga rin, sabi ni Ronald Hawkins.
And look at him, pagkat shoot niya nung tres, takbo agad beside Vitug to defend.
Yan ang ngayon yung trabaho niya here in the second half. Man up against Alvin Vitug.
And look at that, good defense by Makalma. Malabanan on the run. Coach Gilbert gives it to JV. JV puts it up. Ginawa pa rin.
Sayang.
And Malabanan is fouled there. Is it on Tutanes or Ruby?
Could be on Tutanes.
Yes. They said Tutanes daw ang may foul. Gilbert Desigano comes back into the ball game.
Yan yung kanilang energy guy. So you can see dito sa lineup ngayon ni Coach Dave Gomez. These are his 5 best players on paper. Yes. Gilbert Desigano, Hawkins, Malabanan, Imperial, and Manggiat. Dito ngayon masusubukan kung ano yung ilalabas na laro nitong Power 5 nito ni Coach Dave Gomez.
Totoo, si Imperial lang yung naiiba eh. Last season,
from
this was their best 4.
Yes.
Hawkins against Ruby. Ralph, turnaround jumper off the mark. Urayenza with offensive rebound. Brian kicks it to Sagum. Ninoy, and that's a 3-second violation whistle here on Ralph Ruby.
Yes. Kasi nakala niya ititira na ni Sagum yun doon sa corner. But again, pinaasa pa niya o nilabas pa niya. Kaya nga nagka-turnover dito for NRMC.
Another chance for Santa Rosa to cut this lead down. 8 points ang kalamangan as of now. Coach Gilbert at the low block. Malabanan, no looks it to Super Mangi. We've seen a lot of that last season. Ngayon naman, version 2.
Yes. Yun yung laro talaga nila from last season. That post either goes to the post to Coach Gilbert or top of the key to Coach Gilbert, and then he orchestrates finding those open men inside. But again, wow, a certified scorer. Ito.
22 na para dito kay Ralph Ruby.
Kay Vitug.
Ay, sorry, Vitug pala, sorry.
Magkamukha na kasi.
Oo, kamukha kasi. The rebound there by Delfino. They toss it up to Urayenza. Kaso Brian was not there sa spot kung saan binato yung bola. The substitution right here. Number 11, RJ De La Cruz comes in. Take a look at this lakas assist of the quarter brought to you by SM SOUTHMALL. We got it all for you.
Alam mo yung mga ganang pasa ni Coach Gilbert? Ganun yung pasa niya kay JJ Helterbrand dati pag nando sa Inebra.
Kaya Magic Malabanan ang dinab sa kanya dito sa LakasKwarenta. Super Mangi misses that reverse. That'll be a foul whistle here on Desigano.
A lot of nicknames sa mga nandito. Magic Malabanan.
Yes.
Bazooka Vitug.
Old school, di ba?
Super Mangi.
As right now, let's give it over to Daphne Lozano, who had a chance to chat with Alvin Vitug kanina. Daphne, what do you have for us?
With the other team's eye on him, Alvin Vitug said that even though he has his full confidence to score, he will take this chance in maximizing his passes to his teammates so that they could also step up in getting their comeback win. I also asked him about the meaning behind his jersey number, which is 9. He said that it's close to his heart because of Michael Jordan and Dwayne Wade when they played for Team USA. Back to you, Enzo and Alvin.
Thank you so much, Daphne. And yun naman pala, Jordan and D. Wade, 2 former NBA scoring champions, di ba?
Grabe naman pala yung kanyang ginagayahan ng laro. No? If you're playing like you're the 90s best in Michael Jordan and then one of the best in the millennium in D-Wade, you have to show up and look at that shot.
And para talaga, I mean, so how did Jordan and D-Wade play? Where did they get most of their points? Through the mid-range shot, diba? It's not like today that, you know, puro tres, diba?
Pero may trust din naman.
May trust si Vito kanina. 4-point play pa nga ginawa eh. But yun it's more methodical ang kanya ginagawa. Malabanan drops it off to Imperial and JV is fouled by Ruby.
Talking about Alvin Vitog, ganyan na talaga yung laro niya. I remember covering one of his games in the other leagues. Ang tawag nga nila dito is like a Kenneth Doremdes kind of a player because of his scoring from he plays the 2 or the 3. Pero mahaba kasi ang galamay niya. So, a lot of players are saying that he's like a Kenneth Doremdes, somewhat like a Bong Alvarez kung paano siya maglaro ng kabataan niya because he can also sky high before. But again, now he's more of a scorer from the outside.
Hindi ko na naabutan yun. Kilala ko sila. They're legends and they're all, but hindi ko naabutan yung mga
yes.
Siguro naabutan ko na mid-range. Siguro PJ Simon.
Well, yan.
Pride of Davao,
yan. 2000 yan. PJ Simon.
Yun na yung para sa akin. Yun na yung para sa akin.
Kenneth Doremdes pa rin akin.
Totoo naman. As ito, balik sa 9 points ang kalamangan dito ng NRMC basketball. Time out on the floor, 59-49 is our score.
J Project Clothing Shop, Premium Fabric. We customized quality printing. Makers of quality uniform. J Project Clothing Shop, Premium Fabric. We customized quality printing. Makers of quality uniform.
Sobrang bilis ba? Yan ang bilis ng FiberX. Yan ang internet.
This SINAG Liga ASYA LakasKwarenta is brought to you by True Religion Brand Jeans. 10-point lead right now for NRMC. Yan yung barrier na kailangan putulin nila Coach Gilbert malabanan pero hirap na hirap sila through the defense nitong NRMC and of course that scoring onslaught from NRMC through Alvin Vitog.
Yes. Alvin Vitog, ilan na ba yun? 24 na eh?
Yes, 24 na ata. Sagum goes over to Rivera. A traveling violation whistled here on Joey Rivera.
Yeah, if it's 24 points already for him, nalagpasan na
niya
yung 22 niya. Nung injured siya. Ngayon, mukhang okay naman siya.
Wala na. Healed up na yung injury niya. That was a week ago, di ba? 1 week of rest.
Pahinga muna eh, no?
Oo. But that's the reality para dito sa mga LakasKwarenta players, di ba? They're not 23 or 19 under na kahit injured, tatalon pa rin ng mataas, di ba? I-score ng 30. I mean, these players are already, quote-unquote, past their prime, di ba? But, they're reliving their prime days. Kagaya ni Coach Gilbert with that baseline jumper.
Basic naman yan. Yun ang tira talaga ni Coach Gilbert, the perimeter 10 to 12 feet of the basket, di ba? Kaya niya yan.
And that can that wake up itong Santa Rosa Saints in this ball game? Ruby kicks it to Vitog. Nearly made that shot. Diretso, but good hustle by Joey Rivera to keep it alive. De La Cruz fires from top of the key. Back iron. Ruby try to keep it alive pa rin for NRMC. And here comes Malabanan. Coach Gilbert spins.
Uy, ganda nun.
Oh. That's gonna be a foul whistled here on RJ De La Cruz.
Pero kung yung mga kabataan niya ni Coach Gilbert, yung ganong spin move niya, walang makakapigil dyan.
Hanggang ngayon pa rin eh. You have to foul it, di ba? Coach Gilbert slow to get up ngayon. Look at this beautiful spin move by Coach Gilbert. Oh, clear foul right there.
Yeah,
warning on RJ De La Cruz for resentment to a call. Kitang-kita naman natin din yung contact doon.
Hinga lang muna ng konti si Coach Gilbert.
Again, the question coming into this game na even Santa Rosa is asking is how is the conditioning of Coach Gilbert malabanan, di ba? Pero ano pa rin, condition pa rin yun eh. Siyempre, last season niya sinasabi niya, there are times na sumasali siya sa practice of yung Lyceum, di ba?
Lyceum, oo.
Kaya ang ganda ng pinerform ng Lyceum. They went to the Final Four, di ba? Led by, of course, now NLX Road Warrior, Enoch Valdez.
Enoch, yes. Sean Umali was
Sean
there.
Umali din nandun. And Coach Gilbert, di ba, sumasali. Isipin mo, babantayin mo yung Valdez, babantayin mo yung Umali. Makikisabay ka sa mga bata na yun. I believe nag-Final Four sila for the first time since the CJ Perez and Marcelino Twins days, di ba?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. And then, paangat sila nun eh. They started off fourth placer and then naging second placer sila last season. Pero pangat naman yung tinatakbo ng Lyceum under the tutelage of Coach Gilbert Malabanan.
Isipin mo yun, the last time they made the final for the heavy MVP of the league, which was CJ Perez.
Yes.
And ngayon, literally, I mean, no knock on Valdez, no knock on Sean Umali and the rest of the players, pero there's no, clear star for that team. Talagang Coach Gilbert has them playing like a team, di ba? And even yung Santa Rosa ngayon, that's what Coach Gilbert's always preaching.
Yes.
Pero dito, nabutasan na naman ng defense. That's one way na makabawi ka sa foul na binigay mo for RJ De La Cruz, di ba? Makashoot ka sa kabilang side.
Bawing-bawi eh.
Oo, as Hawkins back irons that triple. As Desegaño from behind steals it away from Rivera. Malabanan ng De La Cruz. Umiwas na si De La Cruz doon.
Ayaw na makabingwit ng foul. Tsaka, abanting-abante na si Coach Gilbert doon.
Alam ko, ina-expect action ni Coach Gilbert na may pa-foul. Kita mo yung balikat inuuna to shield the ball. 7-point lead para dito sa NRMC. There's a whistle away from the ball.
I think it's on Hawkins.
It is on Ronald Hawkins. Second team foul pa lang yan ng Santa Rosa in this quarter, di ba? So, they're playing defense really well without fouling. But yun nga lang, yung outside sniping nitong NRMC has been on point in this quarter. And even, sabi natin, how they end quarters, itong NRMC has been a struggle for them.
Yes.
But right now, they're doing well. Diba?
Maganda naman yung naging takbo nila dito because hindi rin nila hinahayaang umupensa in bunches itong kabanan ng Santa Rosa Saints. So, it's a better defensive stance for them. But again, hindi pa tapos. Third quarter pa lang tayo patapos. May fourth quarter pa.
Oh, sayang yun as Desegaño flies high for that kalawit rebound. Malabanan in the open floor. Coach Gilbert puts it up. Wala yun. Tapigan ng bola. Tanyegra gets it. Down low to Malabanan. Masyado nga lang malalim. As on the other end, De La Cruz. Mag-isa lang. Bitin din yung layup. That would be last touch pa on RJ De La Cruz.
Alam mo, parehas na place there. Sayang ang oportunidad, for their squads.
One close one from Coach Gilbert and one close one for RJ De La Cruz. With the final 10 seconds of the quarter, how will Santa Rosa finish it? Tanyegra three-pointer, in and out. Tumatakbo. Ninoy Sagum from three-quarters court. No-go yan. At dyan magtatapos ang ating third quarter of action. Santa Rosa still knocking on the door, looking at a 7-point deficit. But mahirap na task yan dahil nag-iinit nga ang kamay nito ni Alvin Vitog and the rest of the NRMC basketball. You see some of these third quarter highlights. That was Ronald Hawkins' lone field goal of this game so far. And on the other end, yung bawi ni Dennis Tutanes on the layup. And this familiar backdoor play from Coach Gilbert to Super Mangi. Saw a lot of that last season. But syempre, Alvin Vitog, that mid-range 15-foot jumper is automatic para sa kanya. 24 points now for Vitog, and he leads etong NRMC basketball to a 7-point lead, 61-54, entering the fourth and final quarter of this ball game.
Sa unang subo hanggang huli, parang kisa aking pisngi. Kain love, love talaga, kahit di sabihin. Feel na love kami. Kain love, love talaga.
Tayo pa rin po ay nakatutok dito sa SM Events Hall in the third level at SM SOUTHMALL, Las Piñas City for the continuing coverage of the SinagLakasKwarenta 2.0. So we see some of the young fans na nanonood dito and of course mga families ng mga players.
Mga nila, mga pamangkin, mga anak, kaya, di ba?
Siyempre, especially for the young boys, di ba, watching. Eto na yun eh. This is the purest form of basketball as Coach Alvin. We can see the quarter scoring. Look at the dominance of quarter scoring for NRMC except for the third period.
Yes, pero nakita mo yung depensahan ng third quarter. 16-14. Hindi pa rin naman masyadong nakalayo itong Fully Tech in that quarter. So it was more of the defensive quarter in that third quarter rather than nung second quarter in that first quarter. So defense now stepping up for Fulitech. They have to put it on another level para nga hindi nga makascore na itong NRMC.
But here's the question, Coach Alvin, for NRMC. What Santa, if you do not play defense, you should know that itong Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints was the best fourth quarter team last season. Ang daming games nila na down sila by double figures at the end of the third. At then in the fourth quarter, bigla-bigla na lang aapo yung mga kamay nito mga players ng Santa Rosa.
Oo, you do have players like Mangi, Taniegra, Desegaño, and this guy is still here in the ball game. So the MVP will always be a focal point of offense. Now the lead has been cut down to 4.
Grabe, eto na nga eh. Kakasabi ko lang, di ba, they're one of, if not the best. Kasi let's not forget Tito Rex, di ba? They have the closer in Lou Abad. But itong Santa Rosa, numerous games have they closed out, even down by as much as 15 pa nga minsan.
And dito ngayon lalabas ulit yung question natin to start that second half. Which NRMC squad will show up? Will it be the NRMC of the first half of this ball game, or will it be the NRMC of the second half of the last game?
Again, Desegaño underneath with another offensive rebound and put back. Down by 2 na lang itong Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints. Vitug.
Well defended here.
Oo. Vitug. Oh! Hands up! So what? Sabi ni Alvin Vitug.
Anong depensa?
Oo. Winstock Sergio had his hands on his face na doon. Still, wala pa rin pa kasi Vitug doon.
Alam mo si Coach Dave, yung ganun depensa, okay na, sige na, wala tayong magawa.
Wala tayong magagawa eh. Hasta Niegra with the counter. Eto na naman, another classic for the LakasKwarenta.
Ang pinag-uusapan natin, the likes of Taniegra, Desegaño, Malabanan, to start this fourth quarter. This is where these players are supposed to step up. Lalo na, pinag-uusapan natin, they are one of the best teams when fourth quarter comes.
Yes, that's a clear offensive foul. Galing dito kay Zagado. Take a look at this triple from Michael Taniegra. Straight and through for Taniegra right there, and that cuts the lead down to just 2 points. So a chance to tie the game or retake the lead for Santa Rosa in this ball game. Last time they've led in this game was 2-0.
Yon.
Yun na yung huli.
And they started off scoring there. Ito, tingnan natin.
Muntik na yun. And actually, ito pa nakakatawa dito, Coach Alvin, wala pa tayong deadlock in this game.
Wala pa.
We have 0 deadlocks in this ball game.
Kasi yung unang basket naman ng NRMC, after that basket ni Santa Rosa, was a 3-pointer. By whom? Alvin Vitug.
I would love to see a shootout. Shootout between Alvin Vitug and Coach Eric De La Cuesta.
Ay,
of Fire Chief, diba? Hindi maglaro sila ng 5-on-5. Talagang shooting lang silang dalawa.
Hopefully, we get a 3-point shootout dito.
Hindi, 3-point pati mid-range. Horse! Mag-horse sila na shooting, di ba?
Pwede. Sipin mo yung mga tulad, yung mga competition like, for example, for dito sa kumuna ng NRMC, Alvin Vitug, Fire Chief, nandiyan si Eric De La Cuesta.
Sige, damay na natin din, di ba? Maglagay tayo ng mga bata. Ronel Guerrero ng Paranaque.
Wow, ay, grabe.
Di ba?
I saw your post.
Yes,
I saw your post.
I declared that. And may grounds naman for that, di ba? For that claim.
I remember that game na ginawa natin sa Pampanga.
Nagwawala siya, di ba?
Because he was struggling in that game. Pero again, whenever he has that open chance na makascore, bakit hindi, di ba? And a lot of players, na makita natin maglaro dito ng ganyan, Horse, you can learn a lot from the veterans of the LakasKwarenta.
Totoo. Santa Rosa, they're actually really going for the lead. Tatlong chances there. Puro 3 ang pinukul nila as Urienza gives it to Ruby. Easy basket yan for Ralph Ruby.
And if I'm Coach Dave Gomez, I will settle things down for their squad. Score 2 points. Huwag mo mamadali ng 3 points.
Pero that time, minandali nila dahil hindi nakaset yung depensa.
Yes, walang depensa.
That would be a mismatch for anybody if Coach Gilbert's in the open floor. One of the best open court players. Even back in his college days for Perpetual, di ba, Coach Alvin? As we can see this lakas assist of the quarter brought to you by SM SOUTHMALL, the official venue partner of SINAG Liga Asya.
Yes. And talking about that perpetual help days, sabi, may pinakita nga ako sa'yo kanina.
Batang-bata pa itsura din.
Gilbert Malabhanan, Chester Tolomia, Jojo Manalo. Those were players that when you talk about perpetual in those days, nakakatakot kalaban ng perpetual because of those three guys. You add a shooting big man in Arnel Manyalak in that squad. Grabe yung team niya. And then you have Ronald Hawkins also with that team.
And look at that, Hawkins might have just saved the possession. Tinapik niya, tumama pa dito kay Tutanes yung bola.
Yan naman yung dinadala kasi ni Ronald Hawkins from the start of his playing career up to now. Yung intensity of getting those offensive rebounds and yung mga intangibles eh.
Super Monkey from the outside cuts the lead down to 1.
And you need baskets right now. We'll give you baskets, sabi ni Manggiat, ni Taniegra, ni Desegaño. And yun na nga, isa na lang po.
Agaw pa dito si Desegaño. Taniegra on a 3-on-2. Kicks it out. Super Monkey. No go.
I-check yun.
That would have brought the house down as Urayenza. Good defense by Manggiat.
Smart play there by Manggiat. Nakita niya yung mata nito ni Urayenza ibibigay dito sa kay Tutanes. So, good stop there by Manggiat.
Grabe yung hustle doon ni Manggiat, di ba? Siya yung nakamintis ng tres. Siya pa yung nag-sprint back down to stop that fast break.
And he knows he made a mistake there on taking that shot. So, bawi siya sa depensa. And good play there.
Ito mo, gang rebound yung gagawin doon ng Santa Rosa, di ba? With Manggiat naglilick out, gagang rebound tong 4 ng Santa Rosa. And speaking of Santa Rosa, ibigay natin kay Daphne Lozano because she was inside the huddle of Santa Rosa Saints.
Now that they finally closed the gap, the Santa Rosa Saints are now focusing in having an aggressive offense where their bench has also been taking part of in contributing. With this, we can see that the team is reaching the peak of its gelling process and hopefully be effective until the last seconds of this match. Back to you, Enzo and Alvin.
As Daphne was reporting that, by the way, thank you, Daphne. Daphne was reporting that, look at Santa Rosa, they retake the lead, tapos nakaagaw pa si Taniegra ng inbound, di ba?
And I've seen this before. I've seen this in the last game. Ganito rin yung naging takbo nila in that last game. The fourth quarter was so special for this Santa Rosa Saints.
You've seen this in the last game?
Yeah.
I've seen this last season,
times,
all of last season. I mean, everyone remembers game number 1 of the semifinals round between the Santa Rosa Lions Saints. Yun pa yung pangalan nila last season against Malolos Republic sa 1 Arena. One of the best games ever, and it came down to a Michael Taniegra, Kawhi Leonard-like bounce, three-pointer. Yun. So are we going to get that? And yung question mo nga, Coach Alvin, what NRMC are we going to see in this fourth quarter? What we're seeing is medyo nadidisarray sila. And I give credit to Ronald Hawkins playing legitimately physical defense on Alvin Vitog. And kita mo, napafrustrate si Vitog ngayon.
Yes, and nakita naman natin, Hawkins has been struggling on offense.
Yes.
So why not give myself on defense? Yun yung ginagawa niya dito. The other players, Desegaño, Manggiat, Taniegra, and Malabanan, they have scored already here in this quarter. So Hawkins, what does he do? Stop Alvin Vitog.
And kita mo kanina, tinaas niya yung 3. That's the number of fouls that he has. As Vitog,
and look at that, saying, you're too small, guy.
Grabe. Yun na yun eh. That's Jordan, di ba? Ginagawa ni MJ yung kay Gary Payton back in the 90s. D-Wade did that to Patrick Beverly.
Yes.
As Desegaño, was that partially blocked, I believe, by Tutanes?
Oh, man, that's a bad shot there.
Vito, good D by Hawkins. Tutanes on the follow. Another lead change dito. Pang-4 na lead change na natin yan, Coach Alvin.
Yes, magandang palitan dito ng lead changes. So, again, another thriller here in LakasKwarenta. Sabi mo nga nung last time na magkasama tayo, wala pang nangyayari na malaking blowout. Ito, dikit na naman.
Actually, meron na.
Meron na.
No Sunday.
Yes.
Diba? I don't want to mention the name anymore of the team, diba? Pero meron na. For the first time, diba? It took a lot of games bago may blowout, diba?
Yes. Pero you can see that 95% of the games ng LakasKwarenta natin, dating back from last season, are all close ball games.
Totoo. And the winning margin para dito sa Santa Rosa nga was less than 5 points normally. As yun yung foul, kitang-kita yung slap on the elbow ni Hawkins.
On Hawkins.
On Hawkins pala. Kumanon eh. Is Hawkins is talking. Sinabi niya, 3 yun. So may pangatlo pa siyang free throw dito. Yung parang mind games din niya yun eh. Minsan na parang matawa yung kalaban niya, ma-distract.
Yes, alam mo to si Hawkins. He's like, you said it earlier, Gary Payton. He's like the Gary Payton of our Lakas-Kwarenta. He's a talkative guy. Pero on defense eh, grabe yung pagiging yung sa depensa niya.
And look at that, he forces Vitog to miss. Malabanan. In transition, grabe naman yun. The MVP showcasing his talents. Welcome back, Coach Gilbert.
And yung mga kabataan natin dito eh, nakikita ko dito, they are enjoying how Coach Gilbert does it for our Lakas-Kwarenta 2.0.
72-70, abante na ulit ang Santa Rosa. Itong SinagLakasKwarenta 2.0 is brought to you by Winzen's Cafe, the official cafe partner of SINAG Liga Asya. Sa mga taga Naga City po dyan, dalawin nyo na po ang Winzen's Cafe. Ang nadapo nga ng Cebu, no?
Oo.
Sa Naga. Ay, nako, punta na agad dyan sa Winzen's Cafe. As itong Santa Rosa now find themselves up by 2. The 5th lead change. And actually, yung all 17 natin kanina was the first deadlock of this ball game. Take a look at this one more time. This beautiful move galing kay Coach Gilbert. Malabanan.
Ganda ng play na yun eh.
3 letters, Coach Alvin. MVP. Grabe. Yan ating lakas drive of the quarter brought to you by CDO Foods, Beer Food that brings you home.
And the way he plays, Coach Gilbert, he is making a case na huwag niyo naman kalimutan na ako ang inaugural MVP ng Lakas-Kwarenta.
In the words of kids today, he is him.
Yes.
Diba? Yun na yun. The words of kids today. Ako, kahit bata ako, I did not understand that at first. Pero sige, ginagamit nila eh. There's a foul whistle here. It's gonna be on Hawkins. Pang-apat na ni Hawkins yan. And tuwan-tuwa si Vitog kasi alam niya, isa na lang. Bye-bye ka na. That's why Vitog was laughing.
But again, the question here will be, how will Coach Dave put the defensive clamps now on this guy, Alvin Vitog? You see, he has been playing so well, except for that missed free throw. But again, he has been playing so well. Eyeing another 30-point game here.
Yes. Pero you can see there kanina sa free throws, nung nagmintis si Vitog, pumalakpak si Hawkins at pinagsasabihan siya ni Coach Gilbert, huwag mo ka nasa rin.
Oo, kasi baka
ma-technical ka pa eh.
A technical foul?
Personal foul yun eh.
Oo, matapon ka dyan.
Oo. Coach Gilbert knows the value of a Ronald Hawkins, di ba? Kasi ito, Hawkins was wanting the basketball. Ito na, finally nabigay sa kanya. Hawkins attacks. Gives it to the kating Malabanan. Is fouled. Would have been an easy layup para dito. Para kay Taniegra. But nonetheless, 2 free throws to from Coach Gilbert dahil na penalty na Coach Alvin.
Pero again, we will question the main Achilles heel nito ni Coach Gilbert Malabanan. That's his free throw. Let's see if he can make adjustments here.
You say main Achilles heel, ako sa akin, the only Achilles.
The
only weakness in his game, di ba?
Actually, kaya sabi ko yung Achilles heel, kasi may 3-point shooting niya, hindi na naman po.
Hindi na. Medyo ano na eh. There was a time where he could hit those consistently, di ba? Malabanan goes 1 out of 2. Gives them a 2-point lead with 3 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. Orienza will walk the dog right now.
And
Brian.
This guy has been silent.
Oo, tahimik. After
Orienza.
that first quarter explosion niya for 5 continuous points, di ba? Ruby, wala yan. Not the night for Ralph Ruby, Coach Alvin, di ba?
Oo, Ralph Ruby, tahimik. Brian Orienza, tahimik. Malaking bagay na nga lang na nandyan ito si Totanes to help itong si Alvin Vitog.
And actually, Ninoy Sagum, one of their knockdown shooters.
Yes,
0.
Oo.
Coach Gilbert goes to Hawkins there, let him shoot. Hawkins no go. Mangiap try to keep it alive, but Hawkins first to the ball.
1 out of 9 shooting from 3.
9 or 10 na nga ata eh. Pero still, di ba? Open looks as Taniegra with an open look. Taniegra knocks it down from downtown.
Nakikita mo yung how Coach Gilbert Malabanan does his game. That's the old Santa Rosa Saints, no?
Totoo.
Yung binibigay nila dito yung bola kay Gilbert at the top of the PNE orchestra. What a block!
What a block by Desegaño! Block by Desegaño again! Grabe!
Access denied there.
And finally, good find by Urayenza to Ruby.
But wow, 2 blocks there mula dito kay Gilbert Desegaño.
A different Gilbert, di ba? There's 2 Gilberts for Santa Rosa ulit. Last 2 minutes tayo dito. 3-point lead for the fully tech Santa Rosa Saints. Malabanan against Ruby. The crossover. Malabanan puts it up. No go. Was asking for a foul. Urayenza on the run. Brian. Blocked by Mangiat. What rejections coming from Santa Rosa.
Block party here para dito sa Santa Rosa Saints. 2 blanca mula kay Desegaño at isa dito kay Super Mangi.
Yan ang ating lakas block of the quarter brought to you by 0107 Management Group Incorporated. A known scorer with probably the biggest block of this ball game, Coach Alvin.
Oo, dito mo yung depensa nila heading into this last 2 minutes. Umangat na talaga for Santa Rosa Saints.
Ito na naman sila, Hawkins from way downtown. No going, look at that! Sino nagagawa? 2 Saints ang nagagawan. Mangiat and Desegaño.
Yung 2 nakablanka, no?
Oo.
Parehas. Yung energy na dinadala ditong 2 to. Ronel Mangiat, Gilbert Desegaño, yun yung kanilang ginagawa since season 1.
Yes. And actually sabi ni Coach Dave, di ba? Ang dami niyang ginagawang combos on the defensive end. He hangs his hat on his OG5, di ba? This is his OG Det 5.
Yes.
Diba? San Miguel Beer had that legendary Det 5. Ito ang version ng Santa Rosa as Dito tries to tie the game. No go. Ruby put back. Wala yan. Malabanan. Tumatakbo. And they'll waste away some precious seconds here as tumba dito isang player.
Is that Desegaño? Oo, hindi.
This is Mangiat.
Mangiat, mukhang tinamaan nata si Mangiat.
Ronel Mangiat's down on the ground, holding onto his midsection.
Oo. So, ngayon,
tayo agad eh.
Tayo agad. Kasi siyempre, pagka may pumasok sa kanyang kakampi dito, automatic, kailangan siyang palitan.
Oo. Mawawalan sila ng sniper and defender dahil recent playing really good defense right now.
And you do have your, sabi mo nga, the Death 5
of
Santa Rosa. And if you put in JV Imperial, hindi pa niya kuha talaga yung sistema.
Chemistry no, iba pa rin.
Chemistry ng 4.
Malabanan, gives it to Hawkins, up fake, Ronald, drops it, Desegaño, beautiful play. Like I said, the Death 5 of Santa Rosa. Urayenza must score possession for NRMC. Good defense! A steal by Mangiat.
The defense of the Santa Rosa Saints on another level. Kaya lang mintis yun.
Yung pala, padagdag pala na stats. Yun nga lang, pushing
Offensive.
foul. Offensive foul. E Tanyegra ng hinayang eh. Tinitingnan siya ni Coach
Yun
Gilbert.
lang. Yun lang, si Ronaldo sa matatawagan na offensive doon.
And he's talking to Alvin Vitog, mga parang parting words from Ronald Hawkins, di ba?
And, syempre, yun yung ginagawa talaga nito ni Ronald Hawkins. The way he does it, it's like Gary Payton of before. Okay, may pabaon ako sa'yo. Hindi yung pabaon na usually na may bangga, ano. Siya yung pabaon niya, words na.
Words,
Hindi mo masushoot yung susunod na tira. Mga ganyan yun eh.
It'll get to your head, di ba? Yung mga ganun. I mean, that's what's hindi alam ng mga bata ngayon. You don't know that if you're a young player.
Usually, pabaon ng mga bata ngayon. May konting bangga. Yan eh. Now, the question here will be, who will be defending Alvin Vitog in this last few seconds of this fourth quarter?
I was gonna say, one name is Gilbert Desegaño, possibly. Pero hindi, ang pinasok dito ni Coach Dave, si Sergio.
So si Sergio ang babantay dito kay Vitog.
I think they're gonna switch everything, and they do a sagong three-pointer. No goal. Ruby with a tap, ayaw pa rin, tapigan ng bola. Coach Gilbert comes out of the pack.
And again, it's the same old NRMC problem that we were talking about to start the third quarter.
Totoo.
Which NRMC will show up. And it showed here in this second half. yung problems nila na yung opensa nila nawala na. Alvin Vitog was his usual self. But the problem is, who helped him? Wala eh.
Naubos eh. Tutanes lang.
Tutanes tahimik dito sa fourth quarter.
Yes.
And then Oreyenza was not the same. Ruby was not the same. Sagun was not the same. So it was an all-out presence by the entire Santa Rosa Saints. It's not just a one-man show. It was an entire squad that really played well here. Mahihirapan talaga tayo who to name as best player of the game here because they really played as a team for this ball game.
That's right, Coach Alvin. And again, another fourth quarter masterpiece galing dito sa Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints. They now go 2-0 to start this league. And in comparison sa Season 1, 0-2 sila through the first 2 games. Ngayon, binaliktad nila 2-0 to start off for the runners-up of the LakasKwarenta Season 1. What a way to finish off this ball game. And what a way to give Coach Gilbert Malabanan his first win sa LakasKwarenta 2.0, diba? With a 79-73 victory.
Yes, yun nga. It really showed that this squad is a contender here in our tournament dito sa ating SINAG LIGA 2.0.
And now, Coach Alvin, one thing, they shift their focus kasi their next game is gonna be the finals rematch. Magkikita na naman sila ng Tito Rex's Firewire.
Magagang rematch kagad yan between those two squads. And again, those two squads, both squads are undefeated here in this turn, early in this
both
turn.
2-0, diba?
Kaya titignan natin sino ang madudungisan in that rematch.
Totoo, but you know, nothing to take away from NRMC. They played really well in the first half, but then again, another second half meltdown na naman para sa kanila. Let's see how they bounce back. Still a long tournament to go. Marami pa silang mga kalaban na teams dito. Still some time to adjust for NRMC basketball, di ba, Coach Alvin?
Yes, a lot of adjustments will be looked upon for this NRMC squad heading into their next game to break that 3-game losing skid.
Yes. But ngayon, Coach Alvin, your question was, sino ating Sinag best player? Ngayon, kasama na siya ni Daphne Lozano, ating CDO best player of the game. Walang iba kundi the reigning MVP himself. Daphne?
Magandang gabi mga kasinag. Beside me is the CDO best player of the game, Mr. Gilbert Malabanan of the Fulitech Santa Rosa Saints with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. Congratulations po, sir. At grabe, what a comeback game po from you na double-double performance pa. But sir, for your first question, ano po yung mindset nyo noong naghahabol pa lang kayo?
Yun lang, mindset namin is to play honest defense and siguro yung second half medyo nag-click yung defense namin against sa kalaban namin.
Ayan sir, ano naman rin po yung bilin ni Coach Dave sa inyo na ginamit nyo hanggang sa last few seconds of the game?
Bilin niya lang naman sa amin kasi hindi namin nalalaro yung game namin eh. So sabi niya, laruin namin yung game namin, which is yung last season. Talagang tinatakbuhan namin yung mga kalaban namin eh. Pero nung lumalamang yung kalaban namin, medyo kinokontrol namin yung bola. And that's our strength kasi yung takbuhan eh. So nung tumakbo kami ng tumakbo, yun, medyo lumayo kami sa kalaban namin.
And sir, may gusto po ba kayong batiin at pasalamatan?
Binabati ko nga pala yung mga kids ko, no? And sa mga taga San Pedro, yung mga taga-Laram, no? Especially mga taga-Laram. And sa manager namin, no? Si Boss Dodge, si Boss Dave, and Mayor Arcillas, binabati ko sila.
Thank you so much po, sir. And that is our CDO Best Player of the Game na makakatanggap din, of course, ng gift pack from CDO Food that brings you home. Now back to you, Enzo and Alvin.
Thank you so much, Daphne. Once again, congratulations to Coach Gilbert Malabanan. 16, 12, and 7. Yan po ang averages niya last season sa kanyang MVP campaign.
A usual day in the office also for him.
Walang
diba?
kupas eh.
Walang kakupas-kupas para sa ating MVP.
Grabe. And Coach Alvin, thank you so much for joining us in this first game. We will still be together for the second game natin. And speaking of the second game, mga kasi nagtutok lang po kayo kasi coming up next is the Jatour Exile. They will be tasked to welcome etong Tatak Gel Binyan. Dito po yan sa SM SOUTHMALL. Susunod na po yan mga kasinag, but that ends our first game for today. We're Coach Alvin Tanyana, Daphne Lozano, this is Enzo Galarosa, and on behalf of Direk Nomar Santiago, Direk Don Mike Danan, Direk Billy Ray De Leon, Direk Ramonito Roa, and the rest of the hardworking men and women na nagtrabaho dito from the SM South Mall in Las Piñas City. This has been your 2024 Sinag Lakas 40 2.0. Kita-kits po mga kasinag. Peace!